What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at MyCowboysFamily, and hop in the Discord. Link for that's in the description box down below. And of course, as we get rolling here tonight, guys, there's some people we gotta give the love, the appreciation, and the shout-outs to, making the MCF world go round. Thank you very much to our current sponsor of the week and Cash App King, 2 weeks in a row back-to-back, Snug X. Yeah. You know why he's here. Thank you so much, Snug. Appreciate the support.
Much love.
And of course, you know it, every Cash App King needs a queen. And who other than Mary Alvarez. Thank you, Mary. She is not just the membership queen. She's also the stream boss with 35 points up there on the board.
Yes, much love to Mary, of course. And if you're talking about leaders on these boards, gotta shout out Jason Renfro once more, because he is the leader in the membership gifting board. They're trying to come for that queen spot right now. The queen's crown. Mary Alvarez is repping it there. So Jason has 8 total gifted memberships. But, baby, we had a pre-stream gifting from the man that stays skeptical fan, and now he's up to 6 gifted members. So that's a little battle going on there as we get to the end of the week, getting closer to the end of the 2 weeks. This is a 2-week span thing, so good luck to both of those. We also got Mary and Andy and Boogie and other people in that side. I think the Lunatic that have gifted membership, so much love to you guys. But right now, Jason Renfro got a safety lead over Skeptical Fan on the gifting side. And also when you look at the Cash App side, SnugX, will he go for a 3-peat right now? It's Stanley Smith.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, Stanley Smith is in the way, and he's got that lead. Much love to Stanley, who actually I think on this board is second, third, fourth. I don't know. He's in the top 5 of this overall board. I think he's second, if I'm not mistaken. And in first place, if you look at that board right above, it's Jason Renfro once again. And this is important this week and this, the rest of this week, but also last week, because we have a tally going on here that's even more important. Not just the leaderboard, the winner of the week, whatever that may be, but it's bigger than that. Overall, guys, there is some prizes to discuss. But before I get there, though, let me shout out everybody in the house who's in that navy blue, silver, star, and over everything membership levels. Appreciate everybody in that side of things. That's one way of giving love to the channel. There's also, of course, the super chats, which you did see a pre-stream chat drop there from the man Jason Renfro with a dollar
holler.
Yeah, go Cowboys as always. You know it. Much love to Jason Renfro as he has another dollar on his board, on his lead there. So much love to him and everybody in the house here dropping the love that way. There's also, yes, the gifting. We talk about memberships, getting in it. There's also the thanks button you can do after a video post, but you also got Skeptical Fan dropping a pre-stream gifted membership, and now you're an in-stream gifted membership by Jason Renfro, adding another one to his lead there. He's up by a field goal now.
Yeah, congrats to Baby Chaos with the gifted membership.
Yes, congrats. And big-time love for Jason Renfro, who, by the way, with that, is now put up a field goal lead. 3-point lead over Skeptical Fan on that overall board. And, of course, on the gifting board. On the overall board, Jason, once again, extending the lead for first place. So, again, appreciate Jason. Baby, there's other ways of dropping the love here, though. The 4 ways through the Cash App style, which goes on the overall board, also goes into the raffle entry stuff, but also has its own kind of recognition board, and that's the Cash App crown right now being held down by SnugX 2 weeks in a row. How are the ways to drop in there? Yeah.
The Cash App money sign My Cowboys Family, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family. You have the regular PayPal link, and of course, last but not least, the StreamYards link. Streamlabs. Sorry, I didn't think of StreamYards. Sorry, a Streamlabs link lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat.
Yeah, that's right. So appreciate you, everybody in the house, to drop the love through any of these paths. And, baby, we also have to give recognition back to some of the people that are in certain membership levels. Of course, like I said, navy blue, silver level too, but there's those top shelf levels like the star level membership and the prestigious over everything level membership, which is right now empty. But, hey, we'll see what happens. Who's the next? We had SnugX, Seabass in those levels. We'll see if anybody else jumps in there. But, baby, who gets the shout-outs this week in that star level membership?
An extra special shout out to Skeptical Fan. Have a great night. Jason Renfro, Lincoln Kane, Mary Alvarez, Andy Potch, Marissa Sparkle, Dwayne Broussard, and the man, the Lunatic.
And why is the Lunatic not just always the man, but why is he especially the man now? Baby, want to let them know? This is why I was saying the leaderboard does matter. And so, and there's other things that matter when you have those perks in the membership.
That's right.
There's how do we get in this raffle? Maybe there's 4 prizes brought to you by none other than the Lunatic, one of our star level members. How do they get in this thing?
Of course, if you drop $10, bam, you're automatically entered. Every additional 10 is another bonus entry, and those keep stacking. You just keep stacking them
Unlimited entries, so as many as you want to up your chances to win one of these 4 prizes. We'll announce in a minute. But one of the other bonuses, once you hit $10, if you're in the membership, you get a bonus raffle entry to again, up your chances, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, much love to the Lunatic for making this happen. What are the 4 prizes, though, that are at stake?
Of course, we have in 4th place this awesome cowboy car package with all sorts of cowboy gear for your vehicle. Of course, 3rd place is the customizable shirt, any name, any number, and the embroidered Micah Parsons signature cap. And in 1st and 2nd place, you guys already know, an authentic, stitched-in jersey of your choice of player. As long as we have the player, the style, the size, bam, we got you.
Yeah, it's a similar thing as for instance, the star level membership, over everything membership there. You get the sewn and stitched jerseys from Cowboys Mosh. The monthly jersey raffle, we have one coming up in a week or so, a week and a half or so. So get in the star level or the over everything level if you want to try to win one of these sewn and stitched jerseys. Another, just a monthly raffle we do here. But 1st and 2nd place, yes, you get an option to pick multiple Cowboy shirts here, of course, that we have to choose from. Multiple choices, I should say. And for 1st place and 2nd place, like you said, 3rd place, this fantastic package. And then, of course, the car package in 4th place. Much love to the Lunatic for making this happen. Halftime of the Eagle Cowboy game, December 10th, Sunday night. We're doing this raffle. We're doing all 4 winners at that moment. Good luck to all that are currently in this raffle. To those that have stacked some raffle entries to up their chances to win. And much extra special love to the Lunatic for making this happen. Now,
let me go ahead.
Yeah, who's in the house?
Shout outs here in the chat. Thank you very much to Jason Renfro, much love. Asmodeus in the house. Spoony Dog representing. Of course, we have Swole Geek, by the way, formerly known as Clark Kent. Skeptical fan, always staying skeptical. Rolling back a little bit more. Mackenzie 2 times. What's up? Daniel Berry Sports in the house. Big D in the place to be. Grimbot, you already know. Here we go. Lost in Translation podcast. What's up? Hello and hi. Freddie Martinez saying this game will determine if we're for real. Let's get this dub. Thomas Garrett, the superior Garrett. We have Mike Aldana in the house as well. Double R, what's up? Much love to you. Let me come back down. I think that's
you get the filibuster because I got to update the emojis to the family here.
It's all good. So. And by the way, yes, guys, obviously quite a few people were seen on Thursday. So, Smodius, I know that's the last time that Mary was in here when we were live for the game. So,
I'm sorry.
No, just people are like, oh, have you seen so-and-so? Just saying that I'm pretty sure we saw them on Thursday. That's what I'm trying to say. So, but yeah, Freddie, it's kind of funny because I was talking to my family yesterday. And my dad's making jokes, right? And one of the things that I kind of said to him, I'm like, we do have to beat the Eagles if we want to show that we can be a serious team that can beat other serious teams, not just some of the weaker teams in the NFL, although those games are obviously important and you have to win those too. So, this Philly game does have a little bit more riding on it outside of just the typical, we want to beat Philly, we want to crush our NFC East rivals.
Hated rivals.
Exactly. So, let me come back down, make sure I didn't miss it. And yes, Jason Renfro, we got you, man. We got you. Like I said, we're getting those emojis locked up, ready to go. So, now let me just roll back a little bit more here. Touch on some of the earlier comments that were made here in the chat. Salute to you. By the way, Memphis representing. You already know. So, but no, we kind of touched on most of the comments there in the chat real quick. So hopefully everyone's having a good night. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Remember, follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. What's up, Marissa Sparkle? Much love to you. Hello and hi.
Yeah, and by the way, if you guys refresh your screen, you'll have the emojis there. Finally,
perfect.
Re-up there.
Let me go ahead and do that on my side so I can go ahead and...
Yes, Marissa Sparkle in the house.
Officially.
You could drop your emojis, I think.
Oh, there they are.
So there you go. You can just refresh your screen, and it shall be fixed.
Ooh, so, and Swole Geek, you might have to be a little creative with the spelling of it, or you can try a Streamlabs drop. I think that might be a little bit more lenient on the things that you can show there on the drop. So, but just trying to give you a suggestion there. So, or let us know. I think we can also, just drop the link as well if you want to.
Well, I'm sure I'll have some more here, guys. We've been busy as hell trying to get back to, when it comes to the little mini birthday trip there. As I finish my birthday weekend, kind of today, I guess you can say. But we'll get back on track here for the rest of the week. A huge game against the Eagles. And let me start it off right now. This is it's going to be a shorter stream tonight, guys, with a later start, unfortunately. But it happens, and it probably will hopefully be the last time it happens this week. So just so you guys know, Walter Payton Man of the Year award. It looks like our guy this year is not Dak this time. It is DeMarcus Lawrence. As you can see on the front of our thumbnail, DeMarcus Lawrence, number 90. He's the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Dallas Cowboys. So big congrats to him. He's been playing fantastic this year on the field. But this is about off the field and what does he do. So good to see him there on that. On that side of things.
We know he's always been a pretty involved community guy, and I know part of the whole Hot Boys thing was him not just trying to do the whole, Hot Boys stuff, but trying to get the team to kind of be active and promote themselves as a unit outside of that. So it's just nice to see him, be nominated for this prestigious award. Yeah. Obviously, like you said, it's not just about what you're doing out there on the field.
But we know it's not about the awards. It's about the action on the field, and we got the Eagles this week, so fuck Philly. And by the way, just so I know you put all the new emojis out, baby, thank you, but don't ever put the American flag next to an eagle.
That was an accident.
Oh, okay. Because that is one of the new emojis, so you can rep America's team, because we know the Eagles are far from that. They're not America's team. So anyways, obviously we're the ones repping that Star over everything. And Jerry Jones today was trying to help rep that Star over everything with some comments that start with, the college football
situation.
When it comes to those teams, Alabama, we know it. Jerry Jones was asked about the situation, if his opinion on the college football playoff committee. The college football playoff committee in the teams they chose, was it right? Did they hit it right? Did they get it right? Did they get it wrong? What did Jerry Jones say to that as I pop him up on this screen?
He said, I didn't, and I wouldn't touch that with yours. So basically, no comment, no opinion. Jerry's not going to get anywhere near that hot mess. Obviously, he probably has a lot of very personal relationships with some of these colleges that are being implicated here, and the last thing he wants to do is, burn any bridges when he's trying to get probably some top-tier talent from some of these schools. So
I think it's also the fact that he wants to make sure that you don't ruffle any feathers when it comes to getting a lot of these college bowl games and being involved in this in prime time, getting a championship game or something. He wants it to be at AT&T Stadium, so he's not going to say anything about it. It's not, recruiting guys, recruiting don't matter. He's always going to talk about that star in their helmet and how they deserve, they got to earn that star, which is true, but it's also like, we help you more than you help us kind of attitude. College guys, rookies don't have a choice in that. They get drafted, of course.
Yeah.
But it's more about, I think, winning over some of the college, votes for maybe, some of the votes to maybe get a game at his stadium, AT&T. What's up, Swole G33K? Well, you know who that is. It's Clark Moon fucking Kent in the house.
Shout out to you.
$5 holla. He put 5 on it.
I appreciate you, and he said, "Let's go Cowboys."
Hell yeah. Appreciate you, Clark Kent. Go Cowboys. And by the way, Clark Kent, he's now at about 3 away from getting into this raffle thing here.
There you go.
So again,
if you want to shoot us the link on Twitter or shoot it to me directly on Discord, and I got you, man. So James Hurst said, "Shut the fuck up, Jerry. Just stop talking."
Well, we don't want to really listen to Jerry, but he's talking about the Cowboys in any which way. We're gonna have to bring it up too.
Mike Aldana bring up a good point. He said, "Interesting, because AT&T does host the Cotton Bowl game every year."
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was saying. That's a very good point. This was a business decision on multiple fronts.
Yeah.
So
Jerry's trying to cover himself in all different angles. Hey, are you surprised? No, that's Jerry Jones. That's the way of the Joneses. This is the way it is.
I mean, I personally do think the smarter thing to do is not to comment, especially on something like this, just because there's
for his sake.
There's no way of, if you're at least involved in the NFL in any capacity, there's no way to come out of this looking good, if that makes sense. Just because if, you're obviously complaining like, oh, it's not fair or whatever, and you're a player, let's say, like, it just kind of makes you look a bit like even though it's obviously clearly unfair, it just kind of makes people look like crybabies. I still feel like that's the general perception, and especially for like an owner to come out and speak out against that, I just think that it's just setting unnecessary fuel to the fire type of thing. Plus, everything Jerry says, that shit's gonna spread, and next thing you know, the headlines are gonna read, Dallas Cowboy owner wants to destroy college football. Like, you know what I mean? We start one place and we end up in a completely different one. Yeah. But yeah, I do think this was a business decision. For sure.
Listen, speaking of business decisions, we know, unfortunately, I gotta put this guy's picture up with the Cowboy uniform, but to bring home the point here about who the Cowboys missed out on, Darius Shaquille Leonard. Not a Cowboy. He's with the Eagles, and he might play against the Cowboys this week, believe it or not. What did Jerry Jones say about this miss on this linebacker? Because you know how he loves our guys all the time, and the team we already had, yet we try to get Darius Leonard here. So obviously there's still concern, maybe of some depth. So what did Jerry Jones say about Darius Leonard going to the Eagles instead of the Cowboys?
We could very easily see him out there against us on Sunday. Certainly on an individual basis, we wish him the best. There was absolutely never a dollar, any money mentioned. There was never a financial issue at all. That wasn't the case. He wanted to go where he thought he had the best chance. It was never an issue for us with the confidence that we have in our linebackers.
Like I kind of said, I think just two things about Darius Leonard.
At the end,
well,
Jerry.
Yeah, a little bit. Look, Jerry Jones has always said he has confidence in our guys. He's always said that, and whether he has confidence or not, he's going to continue to say that. So just remember, it's smoke up our ass. Remember that. But I think it's more about the fact that when you look at the money situation for Shaq Leonard, there was never the money discussion. That wasn't the case. He has connections with the Eagles players, with Sirianni, the head coach. So he, of course, was already favoring them. So to me, it sounds like, and this is what I think when it comes to Darius Leonard. Two things. Again, the connection, we talked about that. Actually, three things. We talked about it yesterday, the clown show shit, which is always like, hey, you need the star more than we need you. The Eagles are like, we need you no matter what. So that, of course, helps. He knows people there. That helps. But I think the main thing, and this could actually be a positive for the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. That Darius Leonard, when he watched the Cowboys game, he saw the linebackers were not as big of a problem. He's going to have a harder time to crack in there some snaps. Like, right now we got Rashaan Evans as a guy, and he's barely getting snaps in there. So how will he going to get snaps over Damone Clark and Marquise Bell?
Yeah, and which I guess leads to that final part of what Jerry kind of commented there, in the sense that he said it was never an issue for us with the confidence we have in our linebackers.
And I think you got to remember, it's the starters, but at depth is where the issues can start. So that's where the Cowboys wanted Darius Leonard. Here's the difference, though. Mm-hmm. With the Eagles, I know they have Cunningham. I think he was a linebacker that was injured. They think he's going to be out for some weeks. They already lost Nakobe Dean for the year. And the guys they have to replace them against the Niners looked shitty. They looked bad. So where would he get a better chance to maybe get some snaps and be shown? Even in America's team with the star, how many opportunities would he get? And to me, that is where I think Darius Leonard said, the Eagles got more problems. The Eagles have more problems at linebacker than the Cowboys do.
They really do.
So I think that is what tipped the scale for Darius. On top of the way Jerry Jones clown show shit, the way that, the Sirianni and Howie Roseman, and the way they pushed so hard to say, we want you, we need you, those things helped. It wasn't about the money. But when he seen the Eagles, he didn't make his decision then. He made it after the game when he said the Eagles fucking suck at linebacker. You understand what I'm saying, guys?
Exactly. Seabass is saying it in the chat. The dude wanted playing time.
Exactly.
So if
I can't blame him for that.
Then there you go.
Can't blame him for that. And Jerry Jones agrees. He can't be mad at Darius Leonard making a decision that's going to give him more playing time when we feel good about our own linebackers. Now, if one of our linebackers, knock on wood, they don't, but let's say they get hurt, Now Darius Leonard becomes a bigger answer for the Cowboys. He was going to bank on one of our guys getting hurt. He's banking on getting actual playing time in Philly because they need more help than us at linebacker.
And it sounds like it doesn't really matter what pitch Jerry would have given Darius Leonard outside of stupid money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's the only way to make somebody look elsewhere. Just offer them.
Yeah, just to try to, no matter how much he likes Philly, that'll be a problem for him to say, I can't, I'm going to take $6 million a year instead of $2 million a year, which we don't know the numbers yet for Darius Leonard. At least I haven't seen them, but it's a 1-year deal. We do know that. So, any other quick comments on that? We're moving on to another Jerry quote.
No, we kind of touched on everything there.
Jerry Jones also spoke about decision made by Roger Goodell, or not decision, but the insight that the Goodell right now is in discussions to outlaw the Eagles' tush push. Or that's the way I call it for the Eagles when it comes to what they call is the brotherly shove. Either way, it's that when they pile in there and push Jalen Hurts the yard or two for a first down or a touchdown.
Have they given a valid reason why they want to make that illegal?
Well,
because it's not like anyone's getting hurt.
Well, that's the thing. So no one's getting hurt, but people are saying it's an unfair play. Well, because no one can really stop it when the Eagles do it, and that's just the way it is. So Goodell's been in discussions on maybe trying to outlaw it next year. Jerry Jones thinks that this is the kind of issue that needs to be taken care of on the field. So, he spoke to Dallas Morning. It wasn't just on 105.3 The Fan. He spoke to Dallas Morning News, and general manager from the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, had something to say about that.
He said, but the point is, I don't have that kind of issue with those techniques. That, to me, will ultimately take care of itself. We'll either do a better job of getting those interior linemen and getting some pressure back against that. These things have a way of being adjusted after a period of time. So basically, teams will figure out a way to stop it, or if not, then, it's just going to be it's just something the teams have to figure out and adapt to. But eventually, everything gets stopped at least sometime.
I'm hearing that he's kind of saying, listen, defensive coordinator's got to figure it out. Dan Quinn and the other defensive coordinators in the league, they must figure this out. So
it's like the equivalent of trying to ban Micah Parsons just because, he's too good. He's just too good and too dominant. It's almost like that's the logic they're trying to use for that.
Obviously, Jerry Jones believes that this is a play that needs to be stopped by stopped offensively by defensive coaches, not by administrators, is the way Jerry Jones looks at this. And he confirmed that he has not spoken to Roger Goodell about it. But again, Jerry Jones, owner of America's team, the Cowboys, the most valuable franchise in the league. Obviously, whatever he says carries weight. So he says, don't ban it. What to be specific, what did Jerry Jones say about that part of things?
Saying, quote, usually it's cyclical. And when you see something really gets an edge on offense, you'll see the defense catch up with it. So I think you'll ultimately see that plugged up, and they'll be doing something else.
Interesting.
Because guess what? We're not doing the same things that we were doing 5 years ago, or 5 years before that, or 5 years before that. The whole point about football is that we are constantly finding, new ways to adapt, and part of that adaptation means learning how to stop the tush push. So, plus, the thing that really gets me too is, you said it, the Eagles do it. They're successful every single time.
Most of the time, 90%.
99.9% of the time.
Yeah.
Other teams do it. I think I've only seen it successfully done 2 times outside of Philly.
Well,
by other teams. Almost every single team has tried it at least once or twice, including ourselves. And I'm pretty sure we didn't go anywhere or get the first down that I'm assuming we're trying to get.
I don't think we got the first down when we tried to do it, so we got to figure out a way.
So, and I'm almost positive this was earlier in the season. If someone in the chat kind of remembers, go ahead and drop it in the chat. I'll make sure to shout you out and give you your proper due. But yeah, so it's just kind of my thoughts there.
I mean, look, here's the thing I want to make sure. I don't know if everybody knows about. I don't know if you know about this, baby, but in that Niner game, the Eagles, they tried to tush push, and they got pushed short of the goal line. They were trying to sneak in there. You know what happened is, I forgot who it was. Maybe you guys will remind me. But somebody grabbed them by the horse collar there, by the neck, and pulled them backwards. And that's some people were saying that's a way of stopping this. Because you grab. Now, they did score on the next play.
Okay.
The Eagles with a tush push. But the horse collar doesn't count. Remember I talked about this. When the quarterback is in the pocket. When the quarterback is a quarterback. When the quarterback is in the pocket and he gets horse collared in the pocket, it's not a horse collar, not a penalty.
Okay.
It's a legal play. The reason I don't want this happening, remember, guys, we know about it because it happened to T.O. when he got his leg snapped by Roy Williams, if I'm not mistaken, when he grabbed him by the back of the jersey, of the horse collar there, and pulled him backwards. That's how guys would get hurt and snap their legs. So
yeah, there's a chance, obviously, of possible increased injury in that situation.
Well, when you're running, it was shown over and over again that it would happen. But here's the thing: quarterbacks are not running that way, so the horse collar doesn't affect the quarterback in that way. Plus, guys are just grabbing for things. So you grab the collar of the quarterback. That's legal. When Jalen Hurts runs the ball, he's still considered in that box before that yard. So if you can just ball it up for a second, someone gets out there really quick because remember, guys, they have guys in the middle. They don't have guys at the edges. If you're quick to go into the middle of the pile there and grab Jalen Hurts and then pull him backwards by the neck, that is allowed. The San Francisco 49ers did this and stopped him. Now, some people say this could be the way of stopping it. Again, the next play, they were quicker, the Eagles, and they got the touchdown. But it's just an example of what is legal, what is illegal, the penalties and stuff. Well, I'm talking about the ref check here in a minute. I know you got to refresh your screen. You'll see I added ref check in the title because I almost forgot about that. But we got to talk about the refs and what they're going to impact in this game.
So funny.
But they allow that move now.
The man's a lunatic, much love. He said, "Good luck convincing the refs the horse collar is legal." Again, no. Hold on. And not so much that the horse collar, but in that situation, I'm guessing what you mean more is the fact that we're the Dallas Cowboys. So even though it might be okay, it's just the vague look of impropriety.
Nope. Guys, remember what happened in the Eagle game against the Bills? Josh Allen was pulled down by the horse collar. Mm-hmm. He was within the tackles. He was still a quarterback. I don't know if he was outside the tackles, but he was still a quarterback. And he got horse collared. He has to be within the tackles he was. That is legal. Jalen Hurts, when he goes forward, he's still a quarterback in that box area. He has about, I think, a yard. Listen, they only need a yard. So he's going to be in that yard buffer no matter what. He's going to be legally able to be horse collared backwards. I think Fred Warner grabbed him by the neck and pulled him back. I think he was the player from the Niners. You can watch the video. It's out there. When he pulled him back, there was no call, and Devontae Smith was yelling at the ref saying horse collar, and the reason the refs officially will never call that a horse collar is because he's still a quarterback in that box zone that they allow horse collars in only on the quarterback.
I also understand.
So keep that in mind as stopping this tush push. That's the way you do the horse collar grab and pull back. That's how you stop it.
I also understand why, without knowing the details of that,
it looks like a penalty.
Like, these fucking refs are the three blind mice over here. Like, how do you see that? And I just let it go. So
it's the penalty. That is a legal play. It is not a penalty. So we saw the Niners do it. They ran around. They tried to stall the push as much as possible before he got that yard that he needed for the touchdown. They were able to grab him by the neck and pull him backwards and shove him to the ground, like pull him backwards. So he lost yards. And the next play they did get the touchdown. They were just, but because the Niners could not get in there quick enough to grab him by the collar. But that sounds to be a way of maybe stop. Hey, the Niners may be exposing that brotherly shove a little bit of ways to stopping that. I'm just throwing it out there. There's an example of what Jerry Jones is saying. The Niners kind of leading the way, I guess, with the first maybe real way of stopping that. I don't know. What do you guys think out there?
So, Jason Arthur said, there's a way to shut down the tush push. Line up the same way they do and then push back.
A lot of teams do it, but they still get those yards. Why? I mean, they do it better. I don't know why. I agree with Jason. I wish it could work, but it doesn't work. We've seen a lot of teams do a lot of different things, and these things don't work. Now I've seen the Niners grab Jalen Hurts by the neck and pull him back and not let the push, the tush push go forward. But after a second or two, the tush push gets a yard or two. That's why you have that first half second to get someone and grab him by the collar and throw him backwards. That is legal. I want to see the Cowboys do that.
Let me see. Pioneer said, linebackers can club down on the quarterback. Football is violent, high-speed collision activity. Yep. Scorpio said, you push them diagonal to defeat the push. Unless your players are stronger, you will lose pushing them straight.
Exactly. That's my point, Jason. And that's why, who said that? Because that's a great point.
That was Scorpio.
Scorpio making a great point there. Exactly. You're going to go, you're just not going to be able to stop it as easily as you think just because you got your guys ready for it. Obviously, it's not stoppable in that way on a consistent basis. There's different ways to do that. So we'll see what happens. Jerry Jones says, let's have the defensive coordinators figure it out. Now, what about rev check? There is a rev check going down tonight, guys, and we're calling for it right now. Let me explain. The referee for this game, his name is John Hussey. He's a little hussy. John Hussey. And a lot of people are like, well, I'm not sure about this. Well, John Hussey has been a referee for 8 seasons. The home team, which will be us, has won the game 62.8% of the time. So he seems to favor, at least maybe, the home team's had an advantage with him there. He has 121 games he's reffed, 76 home wins, and 45 times the visiting team won. Now, there are also 4 referees that have a home team winning percentage that are under 500. He's not, obviously he's way over that, so he helps the Cowboys being home team. It actually is an advantage to the Cowboys. Now, where does Hussey fit when it comes to penalties called? Well, he's up in the top 5, guys. He throws a little over 16 penalties, his crew, 16 penalties per game. This doesn't bode well for the Cowboys if we're making mistakes. The home team gets about a little over 6 penalties a game. The away team gets a little bit over 7 penalties per game. So
Boston judges have said, who's the head judge?
John Hussey. Hussey. So again, guys, you hear me? It's about the home team gets 1 less penalty against them. The home team usually wins when this crew is doing their thing. But they're also the 5th highest flagging refereeing crew in the NFL. So I'm breaking down the Hussey facts here for you guys. So not the badge facts, the Hussey facts. And the thing is this.
How does that spelled again?
Hussey.
Oh, okay.
So am I saying it right?
I'm just making sure that we have the spelling correct and we're not,
What are, again, Jerry Jones talking about, these plays getting stopped. The tush push will be used in this game. We'll see if they call the horse collar. But when you look at what are the biggest penalties they throw, this crew, the number 1 penalty they throw is on the offense. It happens to be, it's the false start. You don't want a false start.
We've had, unfortunately, a few of those, so hopefully we can avoid one of them.
Yeah, they're looking for it. A little over 2.5 penalties, 2.55 times they throw the false start penalty per game. The next one right there with it, 1/10 of a percentage back, offensive holding. So holding has to be, we got to make sure we are on our game when it comes to the holding penalties.
O-line holding has unfortunately been one of the penalties that has kind of consistently continued to show up.
Unfortunately, so we got to...
It's been spread around. Like pretty much every single player at one point or another, I think, has had a holding penalty against them.
That's 2.5 times a game they're going to throw that. Defensive offsides, which is a big issue for us, they throw at least 1 a game. You can bet if they throw 1, it's going to be on the Cowboys probably. Unnecessary roughness, also they throw it almost once a game. And defensive pass interference. Always got to watch that interference. Those are the 5 highest kind of penalties they throw the most often. At least 1 or more of those a game. When it comes to the ones they barely throw, neutral zone infraction, which is important. Why? Because we're always in the goddamn neutral zone on defense. So we got to make sure we're not in that neutral zone. Illegal formation, they're watching that on offense. The kicking, kick interference, basically. God damn it, I can't say it right. But the kick catch interference call when you're trying to fair catch it, they haven't even called that or running into the kicker at all.
Kick catch.
I know. But neutral zone infraction, illegal formation, they don't call these too often. Again, guys, on average, what's accepted about 13.6. They throw about 16 per game. Again, 1 more against the defense per game than the offense. That's the ref check, the ref facts on this one. I wanted to make sure I said that when we're talking about Jerry Jones. We threw it in there a little early, but we wanted to throw it in there so we can, compare what Jerry Jones is saying about the brotherly shove play, and he wants to keep it in here, let the defensive coordinators figure it out compared to what the referee for this game, John Hussey, will be calling more or less of. But they will throw those flags. 5th highest flag throwing crew in the league this year for referees.
Hey, shout out, by the way, to Calvin Richard coming through with a $5 holler. You know what he said?
I know he put 5 on it. What did the man say?
I've been a Cowboys fan since '76, and I have never seen such horrible officiating. Definitely,
we're with you.
It just it's a variety of things. I know I mentioned this the other day, and we talked about this, I think, during the offseason at some point or another, but, a big problem the refs are having is just trying to find people, right? Like, it's not easy being a ref and taking all that shit and dealing with all that crap, so...
But the refereeing quality has gone down.
Oh, yeah, and on top of that, pretty much, like, most of the refs are all, like, much, much, much older men, so a lot of them are...
A lot of them retired and a lot of new guys came in.
Exactly, so a lot of new people are just kind of dipping their feet into the refereeing pool, and those people are obviously going to make mistakes or still, still figuring things out a bit. So that is part of the problem too, though, that, these are the only people who can basically help you in that way. So...
Yeah, I got you. I mean, again, by the way, baby, and I agree with what you're saying, much love to Calvin Richard, who is now officially in the raffle. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
You got the lunatic raffle going on. And in case you guys missed it, you can hit !raffle. And baby, there's 4 prizes. How do they get into this thing?
Of course, guys, if you drop $10, bam, you are automatically entered. Every additional $10 is an additional entry. And of course, membership has its perks. You get an additional bonus entry if you are an MCF member.
4 great prizes. The car package there in 4th place.
You gotta rep your cowboy car in style, right?
On the go, yes. You got third place.
Yep, the customizable shirt and the Micah Parsons embroidered cap. And in first and second place...
Ooh, the Cowboy Mosh, sewn and stitched, authentic like jersey. Your choices of what we have, right?
Yeah, as long as we have the player, the style, and the size, then we got you.
That's awesome stuff. Much love to the man, the lunatic. And right now, the entries are still stacking up. We've been following this. You see Jason Renfro in first place. He's got the most raffle entries. You see a lot of names. Stanley Smith, Skeptical Fan, Mary Alvarez, Marissa Sparkle. That's the top 5 list of the top 5 people that have chances to win one of these 4. Man, if it goes by the number of raffle entries, 4 out of those 5 will win. But again, you got the lunatic who's doing this thing, Dwayne Broussard and many others that, have a chance even if you have 1 raffle entry. If you're in you can stack these. You can have bonus memberships if you're in bonus entries if you're in the membership. Big shout outs to the man making this happen, the lunatic, and much love for him. Again, we're doing this at halftime of the Philadelphia Eagle game versus on Sunday Night Football. So be there, be square, and good luck to the 4 winners, and much love to the lunatic for making this thing happen.
Speaking of, he said, we need full-time refs. Billion-dollar industry can't afford them. I can't remember off the top of my head what the reasoning was, because I remember we kind of explored that situation, I think, last year a little bit more, but I can't remember what the conclusion was that we came to there. Yeah. So as far as like why they don't have full-time referees and stuff like that.
I can't believe. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I mean, with the lunatic, this big business that is run by referees, and they're trying to find guys to stick in there and hope they do a good job. I'm not comparing this to flying a plane and being a pilot, but you gotta have or police officers or fire. They have to be. It's hard. You cannot be. You got to be as close to perfect as possible, and that's a job. And being a referee, you got to be as close to perfect as possible. Simple as that. So why is $1 billion industry in a job that's not dangerous, like the ones I just mentioned, why can't they get the fucking right guys in there to do this the right way, full time, and be really good at it? I know they're gonna make some mistakes, but they have to be this shitty. We got to overcome the refs, the opponent, and the front office. And I'm talking to you, Jerry Jones. A lot of people we got to overcome here. This week it happens to be the Eagles as well. So baby, let's hear what else went down with Jerry Jones, because he's now talking about. We talked about the refs. And the Shaq Barton but the Darius Leonard situation. Jerry Jones spoke about this Niners game and the role that our quarterback number 1, Dak Prescott. Here we go. He spoke about how he's playing right now. In the sense of the Cowboys not taking a back seat to the Eagles or the Niners with the way this man on your screen has been playing right now. What did Jerry Jones say about Dak Prescott?
He said, I will say this. We sure have the opportunity. We've got the talent, the way Dak is playing, and we've got the opportunity to win any game we play against either of those teams.
And as we said, we're not going to repeat it again. But we all agree, I think, not just you, maybe, not just me, but everybody in the chat agrees. With the Eagles, definitely. With the Niners, we got to find a way to get over that hump. I think, the Cowboys and Eagles, when they play each other, it's like they got a friendly game going on. I think LT made a good point about that.
I agree.
But when we play the Niners, they got something personal against us and against the Eagles, and they showed it, scoring 42 points on both teams, 42-19 against the Eagles, 42-10 against us. We got to take it personal. Micah is not done. He's admitted he didn't do that. We better take it personal against the Eagles, and we can blow them out. We got to take it personal against the Niners, and we'll be able to beat them, in my opinion.
I mean, we've said this before, but we know for a fact that they're going to take it personally.
Exactly.
So
every team takes it personally. We got a bullseye on our back. The difference is these are better teams. These are not the Panthers or the Giants or the Commanders. These are the Eagles or the Niners, and they're going to put a bullseye on our back, and it's a bigger kind of thing to accomplish for us because they are going to be a better team taking bigger shots at us. So Cowboys got to take it personal. Every player in this team got to take it personal. Every fan's got to take it personal when it comes to the Niners and the Eagles. And now it's the Eagles' turn up, and this is the time we got to turn the page here and clobber the Eagles. But Jerry Jones also spoke on 105 through the Fan on the Niners and the Eagles, and what chances do we actually have to beat these guys?
So Jerry said, do I think we have a chance to beat either one of those teams? Absolutely I do. Absolutely we can. I think we have an outstanding chance here Sunday against Philadelphia. I think it won't be the same game when we play any of these teams the second time. It never is.
Again, barely lost the Eagles. We shot ourselves in the foot. This is going to be a different game. It shouldn't be the Eagles blowing us out. It should be us getting this victory, earning this victory, and beating the fucking birds.
Exactly.
So that's what he's saying there. And when it comes to the Niners, if we meet them again in the playoffs, it should not be anything close to a 42-10 blowout. Come on now. So, again, Jerry Jones, his 2 cents on things. Let me look at our offense real quick, baby, because Jerry Jones wasn't... When you're talking about our offense right now, and you're talking about the way our team has played against these better teams, just look at the offense, how much better we've gotten. And this goes back since after the COVID year, but with McCarthy was COVID year 1 there. But the most regular season wins since 2011. All right, and that includes that's again right after the COVID season. Kansas City Chiefs 34 wins since 2011. The Eagles and the Cowboys also have 34 wins since 2011. So, I will say one thing. The Chiefs and the Eagles, they were in the Super Bowl last year. And the Chiefs were in it in 2021. Where were the Cowboys? This is the problem. So, the Niners are 4th with 32 wins since 2021. And the Buffalo Bills have 30 wins since 2021. So, anyways, the point is, Cowboys are showing up, but they're not showing up in the Super Bowl or making those runs. Now,
similar to you have to beat the tougher teams in these moments, we were not able to kind of, get those wins in those big important games.
Yeah.
Right?
And
so at most...
Not this year.
At most, we'd manage, obviously, the one playoff win.
Listen.
But, again, that's a hump we have yet to cross in a very long time.
I would love us to get the home field advantage and get the first seed and get all that great stuff. But the reality is we're going to have to win on the road against tougher teams, and I think we can do it. It's just that I'd rather lose.
Very unlikely.
No, I think that we can do it. Not very unlikely.
No. To get the first seed.
I was talking about beating these teams on the road.
Yeah, no, that's not.
Because you interrupted it. You said
Sorry.
it right when I said, when we're going on the road.
Sorry. No, you're right.
I think we can beat. I think we can beat these teams on the road. It's just the point is that the Eagles and we know how to beat them. The Niners, I think we can beat them. The point I'm trying to say is that the Cowboys, I'd rather we lose regular season games than lose in the playoffs. Even if, again, being on the road, I mean, that's the way it should be for everybody. We should be able to win a playoff game and kind of surprise everyone, instead of, kind of having to scrape by a regular season win and then blow it in the playoffs. So I want to see us winning in the playoffs. Now, what are our offensive ranks? I talked about the most regular season wins. Offensively, for this up to through week 13 in the NFL, listen to the way the Cowboys offense ranks. Points per game, we're first in the NFL. 32.3 points per game. First downs per game. First in the NFL. We get about 23.3 first downs in the NFL in the NFL per game. Third down conversions, very important. second best in the NFL,
Damn.
48.5%. The Eagles are the only team better, at least I think they are. Time of possession, second best in the NFL, 32 minutes and 3 seconds. That's more than half the game. That's important. Passing yards per game. Throwing the ball, third best in the NFL passing yards, 263.4 passing yards per game. Total offense, fifth best in the NFL. We get about 380 yards per game. Interception rate, offensively, how often do we throw interceptions? We're fifth best at not throwing interceptions. Thank you, Dak. At 1.62%. Passing yards per play. Every play, how many yards when we pass? We get 7.33. That is fifth best in the NFL. And yards, overall yards per play, run, pass, whatever. Punt, pass, kick, no. On offense, run or pass. 5.71 yards per play. That is seventh best in the NFL. So the Cowboy offense is hitting on all cylinders. And let me tell you something, guys. Mike McCarthy is a big part of that. So is Dak Prescott. In fact, let me pop up Dak Prescott here for a quick minute.
Of course. So now let me go ahead and hit up the chat while you go ahead and do that little adjustment there. William Birdie said, this is the biggest game of the season coming up Sunday. The division and the number one seed are all on the line for us.
Well, again, for the Cowboys side of things, for us to have a chance, this is it. Then we have to win them all. Every game is going to be important. But again, if we let's just say we win this game, I'm going to talk about the playoffs in a minute, but if we win this game, we still have to hope the Eagles lose another game. You guys get me here? That we still have to hope that the Niners lose another game. So if the Eagles they lose to us and they win out, they beat us. They win the tiebreaker. If let's say the Eagles falter and lose a game, and we're now first in the NFC, and the Niners win out, we're the second seed, which is better than fifth. We're still the second seed, though, right? So that's where you got to understand. For us to get, even if we win this game against the Eagles, the job is far from done. We still have to win out, and the Niners and the Eagles still have to lose a game if you want that first seed. Simple as that. And if you want the second seed, well, the Eagles have to lose, even if the Niners win out and we win out. So we'll talk about how we clinch a playoff spot in a minute. But let me talk about Dak Prescott. Dak leads the league right now. Talked about the offense. Passing touchdowns. Dak is number one in the NFL.
Nice. So again, it's funny how different things are with the post-Kellen Moore offense. You know what I mean? Just because, again, that's the type of stat that, if I close my eyes, if you told me when that happened, I would have said, during the Kellen Moore era. I mean, 26 touchdowns. 26 That's fantastic.
20, and again, he's run for 2. 26 passing touchdowns. Only 6 interceptions. And let me explain something to you guys. When you look at Josh Allen, he's got 24 passing touchdowns, but 13 picks. The touchdown ratio average is huge. Tua Tagovailoa has 24 touchdowns with 10 picks. Brock Purdy, 23 touchdowns, 6 picks. So he's kind of right there, about 3 touchdowns less than Dak, same picks. Jordan Love, 22 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Mahomes, same numbers as Jordan Love, 22 TDs, 10 interceptions. Russell Wilson, 21 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Jared Goff, 20 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Herbert with 20 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. C.J. Stroud, the rookie, 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Very good numbers for the rookie there. Even 1 less interception than Dak Prescott. So Dak Prescott leading the league in a lot of different things, and touchdowns is just another one of those. When you look at the odds for the MVP, the Vegas odds for the MVP here, after the Niner game and everything was said and done, Brock Purdy, 300-1, number one right now when it comes to the MVP. Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts tied for second at 350 at the MVP race. 350-1 odds, which of course the winner of this week will probably be the either second or first place leader on the MVP board. Tua is third, Patrick Mahomes fourth, Lamar Jackson fifth, Tyreek Hill sixth, and Christian McCaffrey seventh on this list. And again, a guy who's not on this list, a guy who is not on his list and maybe should be on it. I guess he shouldn't. He should definitely not be on this list. But a guy who could be on this list one day, CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb, guys, the first Dallas Cowboy wide receiver to have at least 1,110 receiving yards in the first 12 games of a season, all the way back since 2007 when Terrell Owens, did it. Michael Irvin also did it once as well. So again, you're putting a guy, CeeDee Lamb, with guys on this list like Terrell Owens and Michael Irvin, some of the best receivers in the league, really, of their time and everything. So through the first season's 12 games, not 13 games, 12 games. So we had a bye week. CeeDee Lamb has 90 catches. T.O. had 71 catches. Irvin had 88 catches. So right there, already CeeDee Lamb has the most catches of these guys. 1,182 yards for CeeDee Lamb in these same 12 games. Michael Irvin had 1,290 yards. So he even had more yards than CeeDee Lamb and T.O. 1,249 yards there. When you look at the touchdowns, that's the one that really breaks it all, because CeeDee Lamb has 7 right now. Michael Irvin had 9, but T.O. had 14 touchdowns by this point, by 12 games of the season. So I'm just saying, some great names to be up there on Cowboy history when it comes to CeeDee Lamb's numbers this season. Great job by him. And, before we get to the defensive, we're going to break down the big D against these filthy Eagles. Let's talk about the playoffs. Playoffs. Because one of the ways that, we're going to see the Cowboys possibly clinch a playoff spot this week, it can happen. The Cowboys can actually officially clinch the playoffs. How? Well, I'll explain. Obviously, the Cowboys have to win in every scenario. Mm-hmm. We beat the Eagles. Well, we're not clinching the playoffs, but we're the first step we need to do.
It allows us to stay in the mix, basically.
To clinch a spot this week. Mm-hmm. The Vikings lose or tie against the Packers.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We need the Vikings to lose or tie. We need the Packers to lose or tie. The Seahawks have to lose. And the Buccaneers have to lose or tie, as well as the Lions have to win or tie. And the Rams have to lose or tie. So, a lot of things, right? Cowboys win. Vikings lose. Packers lose. Seahawks lose. Buccaneers lose. The Lions win. And the Rams lose. Those 7 fucking things have to happen for us to clinch this week a playoff spot. Another way to clinch: Cowboys win, the Vikings lose, the Packers lose, Seattle loses, the Bucs lose, the Lions win, and the Saints lose. So you switch out one of these, switch out the Rams and throw in the Saints. If the Rams lose or the Saints lose and everything else happened, we're in the playoffs. There's one other way, which is crazy, right? Listen to this. Cowboys win, the Vikings lose,
okay.
Packers lose, Seattle loses, the Buccaneers have a tie, and the Lions win. So I guess we're all rooting for the Lions right now, but if the Buccaneers tie instead of lose, mm-hmm. and a couple other things like the Packers also lose, Seattle loses, Lions win, and we win, then we get in the playoffs. Now that's even though the least amount of things, the most improbable to see a tie happen. But again, if the Buccaneers tie, it ups our chances to make the playoffs this week. Listen, for what it's worth, these are all viable only if the Packers and Vikings do not both actually have a tie score. Obviously, the odds of that happening are unlikely, but the fact that they would have to each draw and have a tie means that the Cowboys cannot clinch this week. The more you understand about this means, hey, listen, the odds for the Cowboys to clinch a playoff spot this weekend, very, very unlikely. Very difficult to do. Just want to throw it out there, guys. So again, a lot of things would have to happen. Do not expect the Cowboys to clinch a playoff spot this week, but it is officially, technically possible for that to happen. I just want to throw it out there.
Technically.
Yeah, so you say there's a chance? There is a chance, but it's probably going to happen next week, not this week, if we win our 2 games here back-to-back. So, again, Cowboys, to have a chance at clinching, they have to beat Philadelphia and not worry about anything else. I know William Burney earlier, he said that, beating Philly is the first step, and you're 1,000% right. Nothing else matters. The next week's games and who has to lose, nothing else matters if the Cowboys don't beat the Eagles this week. So this is a must-win. It's like every game right here is like a playoff game almost, if you want to get that first seed or that second seed. Exactly. That's what every game is, basically a must-win. Every game on that schedule for the rest of the season. Even if Dallas does not have a formal playoff punched ticket after these games, after Sunday night, if we beat the Eagles, a win is the most important thing that keeps us alive for the NFC East, which is the second seed, or even that top overall seed in the conference. Obviously, that's what we all would really, I know that's what I really would like to have there. So, just throwing that out there, maybe. Any quick thoughts on that from the wild card side? And we're going to get we're not wild card side, in the playoff side. We're going to get in the playoffs. It's a matter of when, and that's the way we get in this week.
Double R saying, Cowboys just need to win. Then I don't have to worry about who wins and who loses, period.
Thank you. That's number one, is win your games. Will we get in the playoffs? No. Will we get into the playoffs? Yes, if we keep winning. But will we get in that first seed or second seed? We can't control that. We have to hope the Eagles and the Niners lose another game outside of us being the Eagles. Eagles got to lose 2, one of them having to be against us, and the Niners have to lose at least 1 more this year. The lunatic in the house. Topping that 1-2 J. Lou. Dollar. Holler. What did the man say?
He said, and clown show.
Boom.
Extend Dak.
Ben should have done
30,
that.
Philly 24.
Boom.
So
We got
thank
the
you so much,
score right
Lunatic,
there.
with that $2 holler, adding in his thoughts. Yeah, I know you've been on the Extend Dak train since relatively early on.
Yep, we have too.
Obviously, I was gonna say I'm like co-conducting that train there with you. Yeah, the fact that Dak remains unsigned, so to speak, or at least that the Cowboys haven't seemed to address it from a front office perspective, doesn't bode well for, I guess, the health of our future wallets here in that regard, right? So, let me see here. Lost in translation. He said, we're going to beat Philly like a Cherokee drum.
If we play solid, we will. We got to play stronger starts. And you know what? Let me finish this up, guys. It is an hour into this stream. We're doing a quick job here, but I want to make sure we finish up with our defense versus their offense. And that, to me, is one of the more important things to discuss, because we got to stop this tush-push, brotherly shove shit and this Eagle offense. How we do it? Let's break it down a little bit. Dan, let me start with Dan Quinn. This is one of the things I put in the title, because I believe this is one of the most interesting things about our defense. I've always said this. I want to make sure everyone's focused. But Dan Quinn, we talked about it last night in detail. In the second half, the Cowboys always seem to make an adjustment on defense. They always seem to make a little tweak.
Yeah.
And so we don't want to do it in the first quarter or second quarter, so then offensive coaches can adjust at halftime on what this adjustment is. But these few adjustments that Dan Quinn makes, seemingly he tries to wait till halftime to get it rolling. This plays into this. I don't want to say it's a disguise to make these adjustments. It's just adjustments. It's just smart planning. It's not that they're adjusting to what the other team is doing more than it is they already knew they're going to make these adjustments.
Yeah.
And it's a planned, already practiced adjustment. It's just a matter of when does Dan Quinn push the button to trigger the adjustment. Usually he likes to wait till the third quarter.
Exactly. And like we said, we've seen it happen a little bit earlier. I wouldn't say we necessarily see it later, just because, like you said, by the time we're coming back for the third quarter, those adjustments are definitely in place already. So
yeah, I mean, you got that, and then you also have, that's one of the adjustments. Remember, we got that raffle rolling. But that's one of the adjustments, and then the other adjustment is that something that kind of you've been seeing a lot. Listen, how often do the Cowboys actually disguise the defense?
I mean, not very often, right? Or is it the opposite? They do it all the time.
It seems like the Cowboys are always disguising their defense. It seems like that, guys. But the thing is this. The Cowboys do it. They disguise their defense basically 22nd most in the NFL. The 10th lowest rate. We actually hide what we're doing on defense.
So, like I said, we doesn't sound like we actually do it all that often compared to other teams.
Correct. But here's where the key lies in, baby. Here's the planning of Dan Quinn with his disguising, whether it's the adjustment at halftime or defense. When you look at only third downs and fourth down when teams go for it on fourth down, the Cowboys disguise their coverage the second highest rate in the NFL. The money downs, the big plays. That's when you see these teams, they're moving down the field, but on third down, fourth down, they get fucked with. Dan Quinn switches shit up and makes the offense, the coordinator, the quarterback, kind of have to, now they get a little more tricky, the Cowboys. Now they have to decipher the Cowboy tricks. the cowboy disguises, and that's a Dan Quinn, piece. I think it's I know it's a planned scheme, a planned thing. For Dan Quinn does not want to show the disguises on first and second downs. Listen, they're going to run more, so there's less to disguise. But on first and second downs, you don't want to give away your scheme of disguising or the style or you give away point. So at halftime, they can definitely fucking figure it out a little bit better. He likes to do it here and there. The important plays, third downs, fourth downs, second highest rate of coverage disguise in the NFL defensively. That's Dan Quinn. But on first and second downs and third and fourths, all combined, right? Cowboys only hide their defense 10th worst, 22nd in the NFL. So we don't really we don't hide our defense overall. But when you look at deeper numbers, we're second most at disguising our defense on the important downs, the third and fourth downs, the coverage. Now, I'm talking about coverage, not the entire defense, but the coverage portion of the defense. And that's the whole part. Those big downs is when we need to get those stops. Dan Quinn does do some tweaks. And he does them on those situations in game. So I just wanted to say, and that has helped guys. Not that every one of our interceptions were done on a third down, but it helps guys like DaRon Bland. Although, like I said, we talked about it yesterday. When you take out his interceptions, he lets his numbers go way up, right? But the thing is, when it comes to in a negative way, the last two players across the NFL to have at least 13 interceptions in their first 29 career games, Trayvon Diggs and now DaRon Bland. Remember, guys, DaRon Bland started, again.
It's that 1-2 punch.
He started playing, game 5, 6 of last year, and then in and out until he played, I think, a lot more after week 8 or 9, after Jordan Lewis got hurt, and then he's took over from there. But he had like 5 interceptions last year, or what was it 5? I think so. Look, he has now 8 interceptions plus 5. That's 13 in 29 career games. Only him and Trayvon Diggs have done that. Those are the last 2 players that have done that in the NFL. And we got both of them. So it's great to see there.
Like I said, I'm very much looking forward to a world where both of these guys are out there on the defense at the same time.
Yeah, and again, last year we had both guys on the field. Last year.
Well, I know, but they obviously weren't playing. That's what I'm saying. They weren't playing together combined at that caliber. Obviously, Trayvon Diggs got hurt a little too early in the season, but I'm just saying, like, he would have obviously been playing what we imagine would have been a high level.
Last year, they both played together for about half the year. But again, in DaRon Bland's rookie year, he wasn't yet at that, like you said, that level yet. Now he's already getting to a bigger level, a higher level, to that Trayvon Diggs level, it seems like.
Imagine Trayvon that year that, he had all those picks he had all those great stats, playing with DaRon Bland, who's playing the way that he is this year now. Yeah. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Right. That was the expectation of how they would have been playing together. Right. Heck, those numbers probably would have looked even better had they both been out there.
Well, now, next year, they both would be seasoned. Especially, Trayvon Diggs, but now if that injury, DaRon Bland will be much more seasoned and ready to go. Maybe we get something like that next year. That's a possibility. But remember, if one guy's getting all the picks, the other guy's probably getting a lot less. Because both are not going to be able to put up those numbers there. But anyways, that's all because of Dan Quinn's. Like I said, guys, deceptive third and fourth down coverage, disguises. That's a lot of the help why the secondary is doing so well overall as a pass defense under Dan Quinn. One last thing I wanted to say, baby. One last thing about our defense before we get to the Eagles' offense and how we're gonna see some of their pieces, good, bad, and ugly. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen a lot of Mozzie the last 2 weeks. I think 31 snaps in 2 games. That's not good for our first pick, our first round pick for the Cowboys. But in the few plays he had against Seattle, he really, really struggled against double teams, against Seattle Seahawks. He got bounced out of his gap on multiple occasions. So if the Eagles going to start running inside and Mozzie's in there, we're going to have trouble. So just letting you know. So
it
again,
stinks because he has been, like we said, he's been relatively trending upwards the last handful of games. So it just kind of sucks that he had obviously a bit of an off performance. But I said it. I'm going to say it one more time and just really hope that this is the case. 3 games in 11 days. Our defense was so ready to throw in the towel, not in a I give up way, just in a, and we're tired way. So just my little
we got 10 days of resting before we play these motherfucking birds, the e-gals, and we're gonna hopefully cook them up. I'll get some more of these up. You guys got the emojis, so drop them like it's hot, please. But I do want to also mention here, when we talk about these Eagles, a couple of things I think that are very important to note here. When it comes to our defense, Dan Quinn led, Micah Parsons led, and their offense. Now, let me just say this, baby. When you look at the situation now, their Eagles offense against our Big D, this is one of the biggest, I guess you could say, tops of each side of the ball here in the NFL right now. Right now, the current NFC East leaders, the Eagles, right, by one game. Whoever wins this game could really set the tone for the East, and that's the second seed possibly, or that first seed if we can get the Niners to falter one more time. But we got to take care of business and beat the Eagles. Our defense is going to have to watch some of these guys, starting with who? Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts, of course. Just so you guys know, let's get the update on what's going on with him.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts left last week's game with a moment, again, just for a moment, he took a very hard hit on a play. Again, using him on the ground, running the ball against the Niners' physical defense.
And I'm glad he got it checked out.
Yeah, he got banged up. He again, came back after being evaluated for a concussion. That could have really hurt them going forward. But he's taken a lot of hits this year, something that we've been talking about from the beginning of the year. Running a lot of Jalen Hurts, risking not just injury, but a concussion takes him out for the game or for the next week's game as well.
And even outside, let's say nothing happens in that regard, it still is wear and tear on your body / QB.
Exactly.
Once you get to the end of the season, those hits probably feel a little bit different, and maybe affect you in a different way, right? It keeps stacking is what I'm trying to say. It's not like it's a one and done. It's a cumulative effect.
It's kind of like the raffle entries,
exactly.
Right? But the point here is that with all the hits he's been taking, and we can sit here and say all day that Dak Prescott, although he's an effective, efficient runner, obviously not as good of a runner as Jalen Hurts. We know this. But when it comes to throwing the ball, as a passer, Jalen Hurts there's no doubt, I think even Eagle fans have to admit this, there's no doubt that he's a less effective passer than Dak Prescott. Last week was a big example of that. He only threw one touchdown, finished the game with this is Hurts. He threw one touchdown, finished the game with a 57% completion percentage rate. Horrible number. I mean, usually 60% is pretty bad for completion.
Yeah, but that's
he's at 57.
horrible.
So his 10 interceptions this year are fourth most in the NFL, guys. Fourth most interceptions thrown in the NFL is by Jalen Hurts. And if you're the Eagles and you watch Jalen Hurts, I know Frank Moyers and LT, they got to be somewhat concerned about these interceptions. I'm assuming they are. You guys let me know. Especially when you face the Cowboy defensive backs. And I just told you guys how Dan Quinn does his thing. You'll hear me say it again. But he hides and disguises his defense, not on first down. They're going to run most of the time. If they throw, they're not going to disguise things that much in coverage on first down. Second down, not even that much. One of the least in the NFL. But third and fourth downs, the coverage disguises all over the place. You don't know what the Cowboys are doing. Sometimes they get the first, sometimes they don't. Point is, if it's third and 5 or 6 or 7, whoever they're playing is in trouble. Our defensive backs are disguising in coverage by Dan Quinn, and this will present a bigger problem to Jalen Hurts if he has to go for 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 7 and is used to the Cowboys not disguising their defense on first and second down. Now it's 3rd and 7, and he's like, oh, this is what they're going to do again? I gotcha. Goes back, and oh, shit, they changed it up. They disguised it. Now what am I going to do? That's where the pass rush finishes the shit up, in my opinion. Oh, shit, there we go. We got Big Boss, man. Congrats to him. Because, whoa, what happened to our sound? Kenzie Band's in the house. What, baby? We got 5 on it?
Yes, we do, because Mary Alvarez, huge shout out to you, donated 5 memberships here to the MCF family.
Wow.
Huge shout out and congrats to Big Boss Man, Colleen K, Frame Rippers, Kenzie Bands, and Choice Roberts.
Wow, right
for winning
there.
Those lucky memberships.
Much love to the queen of the stream, 23 points, Mary Alvarez. Much love to Mary Alvarez, who right now, baby, I have to do some calculations here, but she may be up here. I think she's tied for second with Skeptical Fan, 2 behind. She's only 2 behind. Mr. Jason Renfro for the top spot. She's, I'm sorry, 3 behind. My fault. 3 behind. It's a 3-point lead. Right now we got Jason Renfro winning by a field goal over Mary Alvarez and a skeptical fan tied in second place there. But much love to Mary. Mary, who now, baby, is, I think, added definitely at least 2.5 to 3 more memberships. Let me just check. Yeah, she added another one, guys. Another 3 memberships. Raffle entries. You gotta, to pull me back on the line there.
Well,
but
she just gifted 5 memberships, so
I know. Yeah, but I meant it equals that she gets literally just earned herself 3 more raffle entries. She pushed it over and it added 2 more. So much love to Mary. Yes. As she continues her domination, she is now in second place also on the overall board. So, again, Jason Renfro has the most raffle entries, and now officially Mary Alvarez, the second most raffle entries for these 4 great prizes brought to you by the man, De Lunatic.
She is the membership queen.
Yes, and she's also in second place on the gifting side of things. She's the queen of the stream. We got a takeover by the queen with the crown on right now. Much love to Mary. Appreciate you. And everybody who got those memberships, congrats. And drop those emojis like it's hot.
Yes, guys. Here, let me go ahead and do that myself.
I should even try to add a couple extra ones in there. Don't be surprised if we get some extra eagle hating emojis in the next couple of days.
Yeah, we definitely have to bring the right energy into that. But kind of rolling it back to what we were saying, yeah, like Hurts cannot keep taking those hits the way that he has been taking them. And I kind of agree with you guys in the chat. I don't know how he was allowed to come back to the game. I'm assuming he passed all the protocols or all the checks or all the whatevers. But at that point, I think they should just let him hang up his cleats. But they couldn't just give up. I get it. Tricky situation. Thankfully, it wasn't anything too crazy for Hurts. But again, it is only a matter of time. It's not even a question of if. It's a question of when.
And again, being banged up running, yeah, of course he's a better runner than Dak, but he's taking a lot of hits, a lot of big hits. And like you guys said, we talked about it, he was a little bit woozy. They let him back in, and the Eagles I guess they don't get checked for those kind of violations. But look, the important thing here is we're gonna have to slow him down running the ball some ways. But if we could shut him down in the passing side. Remember, this is a team that converts probably the most third downs in the NFL. We have to find a way to slow him down on the on passing the ball. So let's just look at passing the ball for a second. Last week against the Niners, he finished with a 57% completion rate. Horrible. He has 10 interceptions, 4th most in the NFL, facing the Cowboys' defensive backfield, which I told you, third and fourth down, we disguise second most than anybody in the NFL, specifically on those money downs. So Hurts should have issues. He's thrown 10 picks. And again, the most worrying thing you might want to say about Jalen Hurts, not just the hits he's taking running the ball, what about the sacks? He's been sacked 32 times this year. 32 times he's been signed. That's the fifth most in the NFL when it comes to the amount of sacks he's taken.
It's crazy. I think there's some people out there who've gotten sacked more than that, but keep going.
Yeah. He's about to face the Cowboy defense, which is right now has the 5th most sacks in the NFL this year. Cowboys have 38 total sacks. So 38 sacks by us this year, and the Eagles are giving up 32 sacks. So we're coming. We're coming. Gunning. Listen, we're coming for these Eagles, and we're going to roast them, hopefully. And we got to start with slowing down Jalen Hurts. That's obviously X factor, the key of the game. Yeah, Jalen Hurts.
If you could only choose one thing to fully focus your energy on in this game, that should be it.
Exactly. So, listen, the Cowboy defense is allowing the 5th fewest passing yards in the NFL. We're registering the 3rd most interceptions this year, the 5th most sacks this year. All bodes well. Not that we dominate them and kill them, but we should be able to corral the Eagle. All right? And it starts with Jalen Hurts. You guys feel me on this? So, we're breaking down the offense. We got the quarterback spot kind of. We know what we got to do with him. What about the running game, which involves Jalen Hurts, right? Jalen Hurts, the key of this team. So Jalen Hurts going to run. We talked about him already. Dual threat quarterback. So it makes him unique, Jalen Hurts, right? Yep. Hurts has the most rushing touchdowns on the Eagles. And Jalen Hurts has the 2nd most rushing touchdowns in the NFL. Running backs, whoever, Receivers.
He's gonna be the most expensive running back of all time.
He has the second most rushing touchdowns in the NFL. His dual threat ability is why he's unique. But half those touchdowns are tush pushes. He must just really like his tush getting pushed. I don't know what it is with the Eagles. You see the shit emojis. They eat shit, these Eagle fans. So is it really a surprise that Jalen Hurts likes his tush getting pushed? I don't know. I'll let you guys judge that. But for the purpose of the position battle side of things and the fact that, who's actually running the show at running back with the RB next to his name, you got to look out for DeAndre Swift, number 0. All right? He's obviously very dangerous. He's swift, literally. He can catch and run. He ranks 5th in the league in rushing yards. All right? He's averaging 4.7 yards per game. 4.7 yards per game. That's almost 5 yards a pop for DeAndre Swift. Got to slow him down. And again, he enjoys extra levels of, you can say, efficiency when he runs the ball, because opposing defenses have to also keep an eye on the quarterback. Jalen Hurts are running the ball, so you doing that RPO, who's keeping the ball? You got to watch both guys. That gives DeAndre Swift an extra half second to get a head start on the defense. That's why they're very effective running the ball when it comes to both Hurts and DeAndre Swift. But when you look at DeAndre Swift's abilities, he's fantastic. He's a solid running back. Again, the issue last week, he ran for only 13 yards against the Niners, which is something, I guess it had to do with the actual way the game was going. They were down by so much, they had to stop running the ball to DeAndre Swift.
Okay.
And they had to throw. So keep an eye on DeAndre Swift this week against our Cowboy defense. And also, he got beat up against the Niners. Going to watch him starting tomorrow on the injury report. I think he's a little banged up, baby. So he's got to be, we got to be aware about where he is on the ability to play this week against the Cowboys. But because he left the game against the Niners before it ended, and it was an undisclosed injury. If he can't play, they're starting running back for the Eagles, Kenneth Gainwell. He's all right, but he ain't no DeAndre Swift. And he would have to be the lead role at running back this week. We'll talk more about that as we know more about DeAndre Swift, but he did score a touchdown against the Cowboys in Philly when he played them the first time. And I say him, I mean Kenneth Gainwell. He scored on us. So got to keep an eye on him in this game if he's the starter. The Cowboy defense allowed only 72 rushing yards last week, against Seattle. We only 72 yards allowed on the ground, but we allowed 2 rushing touchdowns, which hopefully we won't do this week. Now I see Smokey in the house. DJ what's that? Taco Nick? I don't know.
Taconic?
I'm calling him Smokey because I know Smokey. He
what's
dropped that J. Lou too. What did he say?
Shout out to you. He said, "Let's go Eagles. Forget the Cowboys."
And the weird thing is that he lives in New York, and he's a Washington Pansy fan. Anyways, I don't even know what team he's with, but I don't think he has a team. I think he's team. I'm not gonna say. I'll save it for the After Dark.
Yeah.
How about that? I'll save it for After Dark, Smokey. Got you on the board. Hey, listen, Smokey could be a big winner here if he drops another $8 holler.
You
know why? That's how you get into the raffle, right? The 4.
Yes, guys, you drop $10.
Raffles. You know
bam, you're in it. Of course,
he won't.
Yeah,
don't worry. He don't want to be in it. He don't want any Moss jerseys because he don't have a fucking football team. He's just a hater. Hey, but we appreciate you. We know what it's about, right? I got you, man. I'm adding him on the board, and I'm going to repeat what he should have said. I'm going to say what he should say. Fuck Philly. Go Cowboys. You know it. So, anyways, any comments on Jalen Hurts, on DeAndre Swift, Kenneth Gainwell, and the running game?
I think I kind of touched on my thoughts, at least, earlier there. So, the lunatic throwing out there, we're living rent-free in Philty's minds.
Every week we do. And now we got to talk about them because we play them. But every week, it's always... how the Cowboys doing?
So, and appreciate you, DJ. But yeah, we're gonna say let's go Cowboys and forget the Eagles.
Yeah. No, we're gonna say
reverse here.
Fuck Philly. I like that better.
So he said, "I'm team whoever's winning." So
well, I guess you're team Cowboys then.
There you go. So Jason Renfro also threw out there the Lions gonna be hunting on Sunday.
Hey, you know what? We want the Lions to win for the playoffs for us, but you know what? In the end, I don't mind if they lose. In the end, we got to beat.
You meant Micah. The Lions.
Oh, I thought you meant the Detroit Lions.
No.
Sorry. Okay, you got to specify that. But yes.
You said the Lion is...
Okay, I think you said the Lions.
Oh, sorry. No.
But yes, Micah will always be hunting. Always. As far as the Detroit Lions, I still want to see them lose. Even if it helps our playoff chances. We're going to make the playoffs without needing the help of the Lions. Trust me. I'd rather they lose so we get a chance to get that first seed. Know what I mean? That would help us on that route of things. Anyways. Let's continue finishing this up here. When it comes to the passing game, we talked about the running game and the quarterback. We got a couple more positions to discuss real quick. That's the receivers. A.J. Brown, shit talker, crying like a bitch baby on the sideline after the Niner game. But he is their biggest threat. There's no doubt about that for the Eagles. He's kind of been figured out a little bit more since his big streak there at the beginning of the season. But he did manage to, of course, score against the Cowboys earlier in the season, their first matchup. But even in the big loss against the Niners, A.J. Brown showed why he's their number one receiver. All right? Last week, he stood out a little bit there. He started the game. He went, again, I think he got a 38-yard reception on his first catch of the game for him. The play wound up being his longest of the afternoon for the Eagles. He's a big play threat, though. Big-bodied, big play threat. Something the Cowboys must account for heavily this week. I just want to say something, though, when it comes to coverage. And we'll talk about key matchups and things later on in the week. But my question is this when it comes to A.J. Brown. And I want the chat and you to kind of say that. We're going to talk about the matchups here. Key matchup. Who should cover him? Because we saw a bigger guy on Deron Bland, and he had trouble with DK Metcalf. Faster, physical, bigger receiver. A.J. Brown is that guy.
But last time we played Philly, what was the...
I think Bland was on him for a little bit and was getting beat. And I'm pretty sure we switched Gilmore onto him and kind of slowed him down a little bit.
Do you think that it's more likely that we see something like that, more similar? Or like more planned out, obviously.
Go back to Dan Quinn and his switch he did this week against Metcalf. He let Deron Bland suffer a little bit and then switched him at halftime. Okay. After halftime. I think you might see the same thing. Bland against A.J. Brown for a little bit. Try to get him to halftime, not giving up much. And then flip it around and put Gilmore the rest of the game. And following him across the field. That's what he did against DK Metcalf. Gilmore followed Metcalf the whole field. If they put Gilmore on Metcalf, let's say, at the start of the game, Metcalf might have had his big numbers at the end of the game. And it might be a similar thing with A.J. Brown. You could put Stephon Gilmore and A.J. Brown for the first quarter and a half, 2 quarters. Guess what's going to happen? Be a kind of a lockdown situation. In the second half, they might figure out what to do against Gilmore to get A.J. Brown open. You guys feel me? When you do it the opposite way, the Cowboys will be able to switch it up on them, put Gilmore following A.J. Brown in the second half, but Deron Bland's got to do better in the first half of games. He's got to. So that's a matchup we got to watch, obviously. Another guy we got to watch is quick, fast Devontae Smith. Again, I kind of put that to the Seattle game and say T.J. Lockett. Right? Not T.J. Lockett. Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett was in coverage there. He should never be on. Rashaan Evans should never be on Tyler Lockett. Just reiterate that. But Tyler Lockett is a speedier kind of guy, and that's what you're getting with Devontae Smith. He registered the only receiving touchdown that the Eagles had against the Cowboys, and he came close to a 100-yard receiving game against us last time we played him. He's a nifty wide receiver, has speed, and this Cowboy defensive backfield has to keep him under control. Currently, he has 834 receiving yards. That is the most among any of the NFL's second wide receivers. So you got A.J. Brown as the number one. The number two has almost 1,000 yards already, something that we thought Brandon Cooks would be doing right now. But he's got 834 yards. He is dangerous. Devontae Smith is fast. He's quick. And again, 834 yards, that's more than 18 other teams' number one receiver. So their number two is better than 18 other number ones in the NFL. Yeah. So Devontae Smith, I think Bland will do better against him in coverage with a little safety help. I think that's the way to go, but it's the Dan Quinn way. He will probably switch it up and switch it back to the way it should be in the second half, rather than the way, and just try to get a little more disguising, I guess you can say, with the way we're going to cover A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Those are the two main guys we got to watch for them. And then, it's funny, Julio Jones' name kind of disappeared since the first couple of weeks he played. Now, we also got tight end, and baby, they're tight end for the Eagles, right?
Goddard, right?
Yeah, but Goddard got hurt. and he's injured. He's on the injured reserve. He broke his forearm when he played us. Marquise Bell, remember he kind of dragged him down?
Yeah.
Kind of fell in his hand a little bit, trying to pull the ball out, broke his forearm on that play.
Yeah, I remember that unfortunate tackle.
Yeah, and so again, unfortunately, there was a chance he could come back for this week. He's still on injured reserve, guys. There's no window opening for him.
All right.
Guess what? He's out for this game. So in his place, who's their tight end? Jack Stahl. Jack Stahl. How do you like that? He's the lead. He's their leading tight end.
A little ironic, but continue.
In the last 3 weeks, he's made 2 catches for 17 yards and no touchdowns this entire season. Jack Stahl is basically a wall that has hands, and he ain't going to do much. So, guys, I just want to make a little comparison here to from our tight end, Jake Ferguson, which we'll talk about our offense against the Philly defense a little more tomorrow. Ferguson is better than Jack Stahl, as you probably guessed, in every single department. Receiving, as a receiver, and even, again, Ferguson's issue, you could say a little bit, is on the blocking side, but he's a much, much better blocker than Jack Stahl. So, guys, the Eagles have no real tight end threat here. We can cheat a little bit with Jaron Kearse in coverage, in pass rush, in run support. Let's take advantage of that weakness the Eagles have. And really, listen, here's the biggest thing. When you look past the tight end, the offensive line, why are they allowing 32 sacks against Jalen Hurts? Why are, DeAndre Swift is doing good out there, and they're running the ball, but where are they good and bad at on this offensive line? Because last year they had 5 guys make the Pro Bowl, all 5 guys on the offensive line. So why is the Pro Bowl, why is the Eagles the Pro Bowl offensive line, why are they having issues this year pass blocking? Let me explain. They were the crown jewel of the Eagles offense, the offensive line. But this season, they have struggled in the trenches specifically. They have struggled in pass block. They struggled in pass blocking. They are not doing well when it comes to blocking for Jalen Hurts when he's throwing the ball. The offensive line, like I said, allowed 32 sacks. That's 5th most in the NFL. And they allowed 145 pressures. That's a lot of pressures there, guys. That's the 9th most in the NFL when it comes to allowing pressure on the quarterback. So the offensive line in pass protection is doing very, very subpar when it comes for Jalen Hurts. So when you look at what does the offensive line do well for the Eagles? Run blocking. They love the run block, and they do it well. They're probably the best run blocking offensive line in the entire NFL right now. And a lot of that success, why? Jalen Hurts again. Guys, listen to this. I'm telling you, quarterback, running back, even the offensive line is help of one player, Jalen Hurts, and the scheme that this is in. So that's why I keep saying the only real stop, we got to stop Jalen Hurts, and we stop the Eagles' offense. I don't care about the third downs. I don't care how good they've been.
By the way, Seabass throwing out there, I heard that they're signing the other tight end that was with them before the guy, who just left for Arizona.
Oh, Zach Ertz. They were thinking, I don't know if I talked about it yesterday. I think they were looking into it, but there were 3 other teams in front of them. I'm not sure how that's going yet. They signed Darius Leonard. I'm not sure if they're going to sign Zach Ertz, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't think he's signed yet, but I'll double check that for tomorrow's stream. Either way, my point is on the offensive line, they've allowed the 9th most pressures. They allow the 5th most sacks. But when it comes to the running side of things, the Eagles are one of the best at run blocking. So the reason they're good at run blocking is because of the deception of Jalen Hurts and DeAndre Swift, who's running the ball. That's the scheme, I think, that helps the offensive line. Jalen Hurts is a big part of helping the offensive run blocking. So Jalen Hurts really is a catalyst to the Eagles' success in 3 different parts of the field and 3 different positions, basically. That's how important Jalen Hurts is. And, of course, with those rushing touchdowns Jalen Hurts has, 2nd most in the NFL. We know it's a lot about that tush, push, burly, shove shit that they do. The Cowboys, I'm going to say this in comparison to the Eagles, Cowboys' offensive line is the better pass blocking unit. All right? But the Eagles, and that's still, we could be better with Terrence Steele, right? And that means the Eagles are suffering a bit at pass blocking. When it comes to run blocking, we're solid on the left side, fantastic, but overall, the Eagles' run blocking efficiency is doing what the Cowboys are doing in pass blocking. All right, so the Cowboys are really good in pass blocking, but they do really poorly in pass blocking. But the way the Cowboys do really good in pass blocking is the way they do in run blocking. They are fantastic, probably the best in the league. While our run blocking is okay. So you guys feel me here? The offensive line is getting pressure on Jalen Hurts and breaking up what's going on in the backfield, whether it's Hurts to Swift, the run or the pass. We got to get in the backfield, got to be disruptive against the run and pass against Jalen Hurts. He's the key here to stop. He's the X factor, he's the Y factor, and the Z factor as well. Jalen Hurts is, if we slow him down, if we gave Jalen Hurts issues, and it's happened a lot this year, we're not the fucking, we're not the New York Giants. We're not the fucking, scrubby fucking team out there, okay? We're a team that actually, we're not the Panthers out there. We are a team that if you slow down Hurts on, we can engulf you and finish you off. And I think that's what, we didn't see that in the first game against the Eagles. But I think that's what we're going to be planning to see. I'm planning to see the defense take a little more advantage on this Eagle offense this time around. Slow down Hurts and really, honestly, squeeze their offense so it becomes a lot less effective. Take some pages out of the Niners' kind of blueprint to kind of slow down and stop the Eagles on offense. There you go, guys. We'll talk about the key matchups and must-win victory things going down here closer on Thursday and Friday, so stay tuned for that. But I don't know if you have any thoughts on this when I'm finishing it up here on the offensive line, this Eagles offense versus our defense. But we're calling it a night here, guys. So
yeah, I kind of shared my thoughts earlier. I didn't want to hit up the chat real quick. Lunatic saying Geno Smith was 4th most pressured QB before we played Seattle, and our defense did not get a sack.
Yeah, I talked about this yesterday. Remember that? I don't know if you guys were here, but Geno Smith and the Seattle offense, they made sure, they wanted to make sure 100% that that ball was getting out fast. They practiced it that way. Geno Smith was not getting the ball out fast. They planned, a game plan was to get Geno Smith the ball out in about 2.5 seconds, which is the best of the week is Joe Burrow. I mean, in the year, I think his 2.5 seconds was like a top 5 number. He's in the top 5 for this game when it comes to getting the ball out for Geno Smith because they pre-planned that against this Cowboy defense. If Jalen Hurts holds the ball longer, if he holds the ball longer, he's going to in for a lot of sacks, tough passes. If he extends the play, he can hurt the Cowboys. If he extends the play and gets down the field running the ball, he can hurt the Cowboys. But if we corral him, we get pressure on him, we slow down the run, we slow down Jalen Hurts, we control this game, and we're in Big D this time, not in freaking faggot Philly, all right? We're in Big D now.
Ooh. So, let me see here. And Jason Ruffer said we need to double spy like the 49ers did.
Hey, the Niners showed some things that the Cowboys should take advantage of, and Dan Quinn will do it. I think he'll take some of these things and do it in his creative, unique way, disguise it, whatever it takes, so the Eagles don't see it, like they said against the Niners. But we'll show up in the middle of a third down play,
exactly
in the middle of the play. So that's where we get them. That's where we get them.
So, no, we kind of touched on that there in Sledhead. Yeah, of course the Eagles are going to attack Micah. I would expect no less.
Yeah, you know what the Eagles do a lot? I should have mentioned this earlier, but with whoever it is, offensive line, tight ends, receivers, they send guys to hit Micah Parsons 2 or 3 or more times on a play. Not necessarily double, triple, or quadruple him. It's just first the tight end takes a shot at him. Then you got the left tackle taking a shot at him. Mm-hmm. Then the right guard takes a shot at him. And then he gets a little shove by a receiver at the end. This happens a lot every game against the fucking Eagles. I've called it out. They abuse him on purpose. They're trying to slow him down. So how do you manage Micah Parsons by Dan Quinn is going to be major. He's going to put him in there on every running play. You know what I'm saying? So when you have that speed rush coming from the outside, you overrun the run contain and setting the edge side. That's how they will hurt us off the edges. 1,000%. Great comment there, by the way. And that's where we need, again, that's where we need Sledhead. Great stuff there. That is where the Cowboys need to really slow down the Eagles. And again, the run game, DeAndre Swift, Jalen Hurts, that's going to be key. But when Jalen Hurts throw, the Eagles are not that great at protecting him, and Hurts has made mistakes throwing the ball. So get pressure. Don't let him extend the play too often. Contain him. And just doing that get the pressures, get the sacks, force it, picks, and just force him to be ineffective. Force the Eagles to be ineffective on offense. Don't let them have long drives. Third downs, we turn to disguise. Our defense coverage turns into disguise. And that's where we can really get those picks, get those stops, and play some solid defense, hopefully, across the board. Not the slow starting shit we've been seeing from the defense the last 6 weeks. So we can get that from in this game against the Eagles. The Cowboys should have control of this game from the start. We'll see what happens, though. Saying it and doing it, two different things.
Yeah, very distinct things there. So, by the way, have to take a second here. Huge shout out to the current sponsor of the week and Cash App King SnugX.
Woo!
Thank you for the nice comments saying great show, guys. Yes, so guess what time it is? That time to hit like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because the MCF stream is wrapping up here. Of course, we have to shout out the man whose comment I just read, right? SnugX. He is the sponsor of the week and the Cash App King for 2 weeks in a row.
Back to back like our 90s Cowboys. The queen of the stream, the stream boss, the queen of the stream, Mary Alvarez, repping Stephon Gilmore, because that's how we're going to slow down A.J. Brown. Much love to Mary Alvarez, who is also the queen of the gifting membership board. The queen is the champion there, and she right now is 2 back on the top spot. Jason Renfro has the lead right now. She's tied with Skeptical Fan with 6. She got 2 field goals there. So did Skeptical. But Jason Renfro, I'm going for 3 field goals. He's up by 3 over those 2. So much love to you guys. The queen, Mary Alvarez there, repping that board. And then when you look at this week's, people trying to take over, well, you got the Cash App leader. Boom. Stanley Smith currently in the lead, above everybody currently, trying to go and get, that would be like, I think 3 out of 5 weeks if he corrals it, if I'm not mistaken, or at least 2 out of 4 weeks for Stanley Smith if he holds it down. We'll see what happens. Stanley Smith in the lead there. He is third place on the overall board because Mary Alvarez is second on the overall board, and in first place is Jason Renfro, who, by the way, is leading everybody with the most raffle entries. Mary Alvarez right there in second, and the list goes on. So thank you guys. Appreciate you all that are on these boards, those that gave and dropped the love from above tonight. Skeptical Fan, Jason Renfro, Clark Motherhook and Kent, Calvin Richard, the Lunatic, Mary Alvarez, and Smokey, even Smokey and his jabs. They get on here as well. Much love to all you guys repping it here with us. And again, just so you guys know, when I say the Lunatic's name, we got to mention this fantastic 4-prize raffle from the Lunatic. Halftime of the Eagle game, Sunday night. We're going to have 4 winners. Make sure you're here to see who those 4 people are. How do you get in this thing? $10 per entry. When you hit $10 throughout the last 2 weeks, you're in this thing. That's an entry. You're in. But you can add more entries, like some of you guys already have. Unlimited entries, stacking them all 2 weeks long. We got until Saturday night, so get them in if you can. And if you're in the membership at any level, you get a bonus entry, all upping your entry chances, your raffle winning chances for these 4 prizes, which, by the way, real quick, from the Lunatic, 4th place. Again, if you get first, you can take the 4th place prize.
Yeah, it's your call, but in 4th place is this awesome Cowboy car package. So all sorts of awesome gear
Flags,
to make sure that your
decals,
ride is rolling in style.
Lanyards, license plate covers. You're rolling with the big D and repping that navy blue, silver too, and star over everything. That's that car package. What about the apparel package? Repping. All right, I think we're back, guys. That was 4th place. 3rd place, gear for years, right? As I say, you got any name on the back of that shirt. It's got to be a certain number of characters. You can put your own. You can put Micah Parsons and any number. You can put 11. You can put his college. You can put any number you want on the back of that as well. So much love to Lunatic offering that portion. But there's another portion. A one-time, one-of-a-kind Micah Parsons autographed embroidered hat with number 11, repping that star in Dallas right in front. The Lunatic bringing the things you just can't find anywhere. So much love to him. That's the 3rd place prize. If you get 1st place or 2nd place, it's the same prize for both. Boom. A sewn and stitched jersey. Cowboys, new or old, Hall of Fame or new guys, is, not rookies, but new guys. A lot of guys you can get. If we got them, you can, you have the ability to choose them. A lot of different styles, all the different sizes, men, women, children. Good luck to first and second place. Each of them will get a jersey of their choice that we have available, of course. First place, second place, those are the prizes. Third place, those two are the prizes. And fourth place, all of those are the prizes. Much love to the man, the lunatic, for making this happen. And good luck to everybody in the raffle, stacking raffle entries, entering with one or having 10 or more. Appreciate everybody in the house. One winner. You win first place, you can't get fourth either. You win one, you're out of the running. You know what I'm saying? You get the first choice on these 4 prizes. And all brought to you by the lunatic right here in MCF. So thank you for that, the man, the lunatic, and everybody repping the channel. Baby, let's do those final shout outs as we say goodnight, relock and reload tomorrow for another show right here on My Cowboys Family as we break down the Texas Coast offense versus this filthy, disgusting, fuck Philly defense.
But thank you very much too. We have little Dallas Cowboy in the house. Have a good night. Jason Renfro, of course, much love. The man himself, the lunatic.
Woo!
Take it easy. Mary Alvarez, have a great night. C. Bass, much love to you as well. Angelina Cervantes.
Hey, repping it here with us, part of the family.
So, let me see here. Who else do we have? Snug X, of course.
Snug.
Asmodeus in the house.
Hey, you guys might want to check out MCF After Dark. Subscribe to that. I'm gonna post a link, so you gotta find it. If you really want to see it, you gotta find it. Sometimes you might see me pop in there tonight, going live for an hour or something, listening to music, having some debates, talking some shit. Who knows? But always have it subbed up. If you find it out there, you can be part of the fun on the late MCF show. When things are kind of a one-time showing all the time over there. Anyways, go ahead, baby. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, it's okay. Asmodeus, of course, much love to you as well. We have Sledhead 5-0. Kind of rolling here.
He brought some real good comments there.
Let me see. At least on my side here, yeah, I think we touched on everybody here.
All
so
right. Wrapping
Bruce
it up.
Got the Toxic Juice. Take it easy. Much love.
Bruce wrote us in the Twitter side of things, reminding us to do the ref check, which I did earlier tonight. So check that out if you missed it, guys. Thank you all for being here. Hitting that like, sub up. Keep growing the channel. We're almost at 28.4. Can we get to 30K by the end of the season? We'll see. We'll get to that 3-0. I don't know. We're still a while away. We'll be grinding. You guys grind with us. Share it out. Do what you got to do. Spread the word. Tell everybody. Get the family here and join us here when they can live. You can get the freaking the rewatches. If we go live till late, much love to the family and everybody in it. So guys, almost 30,000 strong here. Much love to everybody in the house. Michael Hooper here with us. Lil Dallas Cowboy. Jason Renfro. Jason, you definitely got to subscribe to that channel because you're up late. You definitely want to go after dark. Just search for it, my brother. I think we had, if I'm not mistaken, we had a couple special people on there, guys. I think the Lunatic was on there for a little bit there on After Dark. But we usually talk not football. It's kind of like the Mosh channel, Cowboys Mosh. It's similar to that, but you get in from the MCF side of things. So, hey, you'll definitely like it, Jason. Make sure you subscribe. Type it in your search and type in there MCF After Dark. You'll see it. Trust me, you'll see it. But it's low-key. It's hidden. And you only hear me mention it once in a while. There's no set time. There's no, you'll never know when I go live. And by the way, just in case you're wondering, we do have some drinking and some music and some partying over there. That all gets added on to this list above my head. Keep that in mind. That's how some people make some runs sometimes. It's through that After Dark channel. So you never know. One-time viewing, you can't rewind it. It's kind of like our party streams here, except that channel is only and always, not party stream, it's always deleted. It's always one-time viewing, so check it out, sub it up. There ain't no videos there because, well, when they come out, they're up and they're gone. Boom. It's After Dark, guys. Everything goes. Anyway, anything and everything goes. Oh, there, Burn Bar posted the goddamn link. Don't do that. Block that link out. I don't want it. I want people to earn it, Burn. Come on. Burn found it. I want him to earn. There he goes. Good job, baby. Thank you. Not against Burn Bar. It's just a little thing. I'm not even trying to promote it, guys. I'm really not. I'm promoting it to like the family that stays up late. The people don't want to hear some non-football stuff. It's more. It could be a lot of different discussions, things that you don't talk about. at the water cooler. You don't want to talk about these things at work, so we'll talk about it after dark. You know what I mean? Once in a while, maybe once, twice, 4 times a week sometimes. We'll see what happens. We'll have some fun with it. But check it out if you want to, just see what's going on. Whenever I pop up out of the blue, it might be like 10 minutes from now, I'm going live. You never know. So check it out. Anyway, I'm done promoting that channel. I don't even want to do that. I just wanted to mention it for those that are listening. Go and find it. And we'll see you there tonight, tomorrow, who knows. But we'll be live at any time, at any point, overnights, after dark, after the MCF live streams. But now it's over here, baby, on MCF. Let everybody know why we do this here on MCF on the nightly. Like crazy Dallas Cowboy fans. Why do we do this every single night?
It's that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
Hails to the years. Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly, here on this channel, here on MCF. We always rep that star over everything and never forget the number one thing here, now, and forever on My Cowboys Family. As always, go Cowboys! Let's get that 6 and beyond. Thank you all for dropping the knowledge in the house, in the chat, all night long. Can't do this without you guys. Woo. And of course, the drops of love from above. Truly humbled by the best fans of all YouTube. An hour and a half, Cowboy knowledge, info, updates. Can't do this without your guys' input, your guys' thoughts. Almost 2 hours worth of Cowboy information on the consistency here. I love it. Guys, thank you again for joining us here. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another one, relocked and fully reloaded, talking about our Texas Coast offense against this Philadelphia defense. This little D from Philly. On that note, baby, they got little D energy over there.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, before we can officially drop out for the night, baby, let everybody know what we got to do.
We got to drop the beat.
Oh, yeah. The beat's been dropped. The beat's been dropped. Guys, thank you once again for stopping by, letting your thoughts known, repping that star right here with us, and always screaming as top as you can, your lungs as loud as you can. You're Cowboys! You know it. I know the Cowboys chat in the books. We talk about our defense, our big D going up that, we're going to try to stop that tush push with our big D. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The E-Gals. Yeah, they got the lipstick on and everything, and we'll have to make them our bitch this week. A little payback from the last match we had against our hated division rivals. We talked about it all tonight. We'll talk about it a lot more tomorrow and continuously up until kickoff on Sunday Night Football. I can't wait. Can you guys wait? Micah can't. DeMarcus Lawrence can't. Dak can't. Let's get these ugly green birds here on MCF. You know what it's about. That navy blue, that silver too, that star over everything. Never ever forget the number one thing right here on My Cowboys Family. Much love to everyone, even the haters. You know who you are. Eagle fans watching back there. Thank you guys once again here. Hit that like for the stream. Subscribe to the channel and keep it growing. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're going live on the nightly. We'll be back tomorrow with another one. Once again, stay safe. Have a good night. Peace. And never, ever, ever, never, ever forget. Go Cowboys!